So you have an Apple device and you love tech? I got 32 products for you. Welcome back to the channel. So you have an Apple product like a MacBook, an iPad, an iPhone, and you love tech over here? I got 32 different products that you've probably never heard of before. That's tech, that's gonna go really well with those Apple products. So if you love tech and you wanna maybe buy some cool stuff, sit back and relax, and let's get into it. Okay, so maybe you're looking into some external storage, and you know those little SSD enclosures you can buy for like 20 or 30 bucks? You can buy something way bigger, way better for not that much more. This is all about the cost right now. Take a look here. This is the Wavelength 2-bay hard disk enclosure for 3.5 and 2.5 inch, either SSD or HDD. So basically you can either put in a spinning drive or an 2.5 inch SSD into this thing. Take a look at this thing. Right now it's basically on sale at $58.39, usually around 73 bucks, 20% off. But think about this, 58 bucks. So what makes this special for 58 bucks? Well, instead of buying actually those little SSD enclosures, you can buy something like this if you want to do more substantial backups, all right? Okay, so here's the case, and the reason I love this so much is a couple reasons for 58 bucks. It's got a fan, obviously. It's got some lights up here, and you're going to notice it says RAID. We'll get back into that in a second here. That's pretty crazy for 58 bucks. Down here, though, this plugs into your PC, USB-C. This will actually allow you to plug another device in to grab data at USB-C. You got a reset button, you got an on and off button, you got where the DC12 connection goes in for power, and over here is your little RAID switch controller. We'll talk about that in just 1 second, but you can see it says RAID switch controller right here. So really cool device here for 58 bucks. And then obviously you can put up to 2 times 22 terabyte storage expansion in here, so you can have up to basically 44 terabytes if you wanted to of spinning drive. But the beauty of this thing is right in here, this little system right here, you can actually go into normal mode, recognizes 2 separate hard drives. Large mode recognizes a hard drive. Basically, it sums the 2 of them. That's probably like JBOD. It's got RAID 1 and RAID 0. And then the lights up here will tell you exactly what RAID configuration you've set up here, right here. So really cool system for the money, all right? It's got a fan built into it with cooling and stuff like that. And again, you can put in the spinning drives, obviously the HDDs, or you can put in 2.5 inch SSDs. That's the beauty of this thing. If I scroll down here, you're going to see some information on how this pulls out. Let me actually go down to some of the pictures. They're actually, just to kind of show you maybe the size of this, let me just see if I can get in here. It's not as big as you think. It's actually, it's pretty small. It's not terribly big. That's basically the size of it compared to just a 2.5 inch drive right there. But those mount in there just as well as the bigger drives, the 3.5 inch drives. Now, what I would do with this thing is again, 38 bucks or what was it, 58 bucks? I mean, that's just an amazing cost because you can't even barely get a normal enclosure for this, right? So what I would do, and don't expect it to be perfect. It does have a pretty good rating at 4.2 out of 5, but it's going to probably give you about 500 megabytes per second with the SSDs. I would go ahead and buy something like this right here. This is the second product. This is a Team Group AX2, and I've done some videos on this one. 512 gigabyte, but this is a 2-pack for 76 bucks. 2 of them, so you get basically a terabyte for 76 bucks. So you could buy this, plug both of those into that device I just showed you, and you're golden. You'll have about a terabyte of storage if you don't RAID them together. And when you're done with them, you can just yank them out, mark them, put another one in, and use it as a storage device. It's got the on and off switch as well, which means you can go ahead and turn it off if it's too loud for you when you're not using it, and just use it for backups and stuff like that, to archive stuff off whenever you need it. Stuff like that. You don't always have to have that thing on and running. So long story short, I recommend these drives as well. They work. I've had them for years now. They work really well. So that's a good pairing, or just get some spinning drives and throw them in there. Those are the first 2 products. Okay, so Apple AirTags. Now, everyone buys those, I understand, but they're kind of expensive. Not really, but I mean, what is it? They're like 25, 26 bucks a piece. If you want something cheaper that's got really good ratings that you would never expect, take a look over here. This is the 2025 Apple. It's MFI certified, all right? iOS only, so this is an air tracker, but it's a 4-pack right here, right? Now, this is going to work with Find My perfectly well. You can see the rating here, 4.2 out of 5. I've read the rating, and everyone loves these things, basically, and 4 of them for 28 bucks. Let me go ahead and click on this. They kind of look like this. They have a silver on one side, and you actually have a little see-through chip on the other side. It's kind of an interesting design. When they show it here, you can see the little see-through chip here. But it comes in comes in these little cases and stuff, and you can attach them to your keys and stuff like that. But it works perfectly with Find My. I think overall, this is a good option for 4 of them, just to kind of dabble in it if you've never tried these things before. So 28 bucks right now in stock, limited time deal. 29% off. They're usually 40 bucks, and that's a 4-pack. Again, not just one of them, 4 of them. That's why you'd buy these things. Maybe you don't want to break them or anything like that. Maybe you don't want to, your really good ones you want to use for specific things, but maybe you put this on the dog. Well, here's another one. Next product over here, Air Tracker 4 tag as well. I just want to show you again, 25 bucks for 4 of them. This is a smart tag or compatible with Apple Find My, just like the other one. This one's got a 4.8 out of 5, 293 reviews. So people love this thing, and this is perfect. It's got this little, let me just click on here. You can see it's fully waterproof, it's saying, and it's got like this little hinge here. So you can go ahead and put this on your dog's chain. Let's say you don't want to, maybe he'll mess it up over time. What does this come out to, like, $8 a piece or something like that? And it works perfectly with Find My, according to all these people here. If you go down to the reviews, people just love them. Reliable and easy to use. This guy gives it, 8 stars. He's, fully recommended, works perfectly with Find My. Greatest product ever. You can see these product ratings in here. So definitely don't think you have to spend like 70, 80 bucks for 4 of them. You can just get this if you want to dabble in it, if you have an Apple phone. And they work great. The technology's there. Okay, the next product's more of a mainstream product, but I think it's a pretty good price right now. It's 27% off. What do we have over here? Here's the SanDisk portable 1TB SSD. It says up to 800 megabytes per second. It's going to be somewhere in that 800 to 900 range from what I've tested before. I've actually have one of these. USB-C, and it's 80 bucks right now. $80.10 for some reason, but it's 27% off. Usually about 109 bucks, which I can verify, all the way down to 80. Now, if you want to get some crazy little design, look at this one's 99 bucks if you want that. I don't know who would ever want that thing, but it's made by SanDisk. It's hilarious. But over here, here's the normal one for $80.10, and it's just a good sale right now. If you want some external storage and you don't want to build it yourself, I recommend this one. They're pretty good. All right, let's keep moving. Now, we're talking about a lot of budget products here, just things that you may not ever buy, think about until you actually see them, until I actually recommend them to you, right? This is an external, basically, monitor. So let's say you have a laptop like this and you're traveling. You want an external monitor, or maybe you have an office setup where you want like stocks over here. You want a whole bunch of monitors, but on the cheap. This is an awesome deal, and it's going to work perfect, trust me, right over here. Now, this doesn't even really have a great name on it, right? It's any use, but it's a portable monitor, 15.6-inch 1080p. So at this size, 1080p is perfect for this thing. It's down to $49.99, 29% off, usually 70 bucks. And look at 4.4 out of 5 on this thing. So it's got USB connection into it, right? And it is exactly what it is. Let me see if I can get into some of these images. Look how nice this thing looks. So here's your Mac. This is not a MacBook, but let's say your MacBook's here. There's the monitor, and you can go ahead. Let me actually go down to some other images in here. This guy's got it set up. So this guy's got it set up for like an audio setup, where he's got a configurator here, and then he's got all of his screens, or you could do it for like security screens and stuff like that. But it's basically limitless. You can do anything you want on here. It's just a really nice screen here, and it's got really good reviews if you go through all this. They're all basically 4 or 5 stars all the way up. So anyways, I thought for 49 bucks, just think about the uses for that. It can be anything, an extra little, like I said, watching financial stuff in the corner. You just get one of these things for this much money. They keep going down. It's amazing they can make these for 49 bucks. And again, this is a pretty good one at 4.4 to 5. So I have a couple other ones that are a little bit more expensive, but I would definitely pick this one up. Okay, so now if you're a perfectionist and you love the best of the best, right? I did a video. I don't think I can find it. If I can, I'll post it here. But it was a long time ago on an external monitor like I just showed you, but it was Oled, and it was a phenomenal screen. I believe it was by the same company, but it was like 350 bucks back then. This one's a lot cheaper. Take a look over here. This is the InnoView, and I think it's the same name, 14-inch Oled portable monitor, 4K. So it's 3840 by 2400, although realistically, that at that size of 14 inches here, it's not going to show up that well. You probably have to go a little higher resolution or a little bit lower resolution. But long story short, 4.4 to 5. This is down to 199. Again, when I did it, it was like 389. This says 289 down to 199, 31% off. And don't just take my word for it. If you look down in here, take a look at the colors and stuff, and that's exactly the one I reviewed a while back from this company. It was phenomenal. These people are saying it's maybe not the best maybe for gaming and stuff like that. Obviously, you're not going to get something like this for gaming, but it's really, really good for, creative work and stuff like that, or, it's just really soothing colors, trust me. It's hard to explain until you see an OLED, obviously, and once you know what OLED looks like, having a small screen like this next to you for 199 bucks, well, that's still a little bit expensive. For OLED, it's not that bad. So I do recommend this one at 199 bucks. They don't go on sale that often, and it's InnoView, and I've actually done a review on a couple of their monitors, and they've been really solid. Okay, if you're like me and you're pretty cheap, right? And I have the 11th gen iPad, so I'm cheap there. I bought the lowest grade one. But I want a pencil, right, for that. But I don't want it to be the Apple Pencil. I don't want to spend $100 or something. The best one that I found, I've talked about this one many times. I did a video on this one, is right here. This is the Stylus pen for the iPad. It's from the 6th to the 11th generation. It's a whole bunch of different ones. You can use it with the Airs and the iPad minis and all that stuff. It's only $17.99, but it is 40% off right now. It's usually $29.99. And so limited time deal right now. #1 bestseller. It's got 95,000 reviews here. Take a look, 4.4 to 5. I just love this thing. Obviously it's going to have some limitations in here. Let me actually click on it. It's going to have some limitations. It does, I think, have pressure sensitivity, but it does not have, well, it doesn't have pressure sensitivity, but you can actually, do it at the side and it's going to give you the wider strokes and stuff. It's got some of the features built in, but not all of them. But the typical reason you'd buy something like this, it's fully rechargeable here as well, is just for taking notes and notes apps and drawing and sketching little things out and stuff like that. It works perfect. It never misses a beat. It doesn't it'll erase your palm recognition and stuff like that. It doesn't affect the actual pen. And I've used it for years now, and it's still, the battery still works on it. I think I've had it for like 2 or 3 years. It's now it's $17.99, so I definitely recommend that product if you're looking at something that's going to be just dirt cheap and you just want to give it a shot because you don't know if you're going to use it. I recommend that. Okay, this next product is actually something really cool. You can put it in your house. I have done this exact same thing I'm telling you right now. These work phenomenal as well. So let's say you have light switches all over your house, but you want to make them smart. Here's one I recommend right over here, and it's on sale. The Casa Apple HomeKit Smart Light Switch. This is the KS200P3. You get the idea. I'm not going to go through the whole thing here, but it's a 3-pack right here. So a 3-pack, usually what is it? Usually it is $50. It's down to $39.99, so 20% off right now. So the beauty of this thing, obviously, is let me go ahead and click on this. It's a light switch like you obviously know here, but it works with Apple HomeKit and a whole bunch of other ones. I think they said Google and Amazon and stuff like that. And you go ahead and you set this up, and then it's basically going to give you full remote control from your phone here. It's also going to be, so you can obviously, sitting on your couch or when you're away, you can turn your lights on and off from a distance. It's full Wi-Fi compatibility like that. And that's really what it does. It's got the away mode, so you can go ahead and set settings for your lights to come on automatically and stuff like that. It's all just built in so you have automatic lights, so you can turn them on and off whenever you want to from your phone. It's really cool. And it's, what is that coming out to? It's like, what is it, $13 per switch or something? And it says no hub required. That's the key here as well. And it does work with Siri, Alexa, Google Home as well, plus Apple HomeKit. So phenomenal deal right there. I would definitely check that out for that cost. Right now, that's the lowest I've ever seen it. Pretty good. Okay, this next product I thought was pretty cool, and I've actually done a couple things from this company as well, and they've always been quality products. I just like the look and feel of this thing. Take a look over here. This is the Lysen 3-in-1 charging station for Apple iPhone. So it's $39.49. It's 34% off right now, usually $60. Really good deal right now. And it's really good for travel. So let's say you want to charge all your devices, you have all your Apple devices. It's a cube that folds up. You can take a look here, and you can see obviously the initial picture here, but let's take a look at a couple more. All right, so here it is folded up. You can see how cool it is. So imagine throwing that in your bag. It's not going to take up a lot of space like some of the other ones. And you basically put your iPhone up here. You can put your AirPods here and then your watch on the side. See that? Let's see if we can get a better picture in here. Obviously you get the idea of it. The iPhone goes there. They don't really have too many front pictures here, but it's going to sit just like this. And then obviously you put your AirPods up here and then your watch right there. It's got connections into the back of it. So really cool device. And like I said, they've always had quality products. It looks like it comes in kind of a silver or this dark color as well. So pretty cool. But I think that's a good deal. 4.5 out of 5 at 644 reviews. So that's quality. I looked at the reviews. Everyone likes that one. And it's from a quality company, so you can't go wrong. Okay, this next product's one you've probably never seen before. I actually love the thing. Now, this is a company that has more expensive stuff, so they're not the cheapest company out there, but they make really good quality stuff. And take a look over here. This is going to be you can call it, I call it the Tobin 1. I don't know if it's Tubin 1 or Tobin 1, but anyways, you get the idea. It's the 10-in-1 shortcut key docking station with 4 shortcut buttons and volume knob. So it's USB-C, $80 though. The key is it was usually $100, now it's down to 80 roughly. And the reason I love this thing, let's actually go back over here. So as you can see here, it's basically like a hub. First of all, on the side of it, you got SD card reader and a micro SD card reader. See that? That's great. And obviously it's not worth the $80, but what else do you have? Well, on the back of it, You basically can plug your computer in here, USB-C. Then it's got a PD you can charge up your devices through here. You got a LAN port. I believe it's a gigabit LAN here. You got HDMI. You got 2 USB-As. You got another USB-C. You got an audio jack, all right? So it's kind of like a hub, but that's not what the claim to fame is. The claim to fame is up here. See this? It's basically going to be this volume knob that you can actually turn. But what it does is it allows you 4 shortcut buttons. So if you can imagine, you can like do obviously your volume on there, or you can program it for anything. So you want to maybe do the brightness, you have another button, maybe you want to move through your kind of your timeline when you're doing video editing. You can basically pre-program this thing for that button. So you push the thing, it goes to whatever you want, and then you can turn the dial. So it's got all of that built in, and SD card readers, and it works as a hub. It's just something really cool. I mean, if you kind of go through here, you can see it's a 10-in-1, they call it, SD card readers. It's also can connect at 4K 60 hertz for external monitors. It's got this button. You got a sleep button, screenshot. You can take screenshots automatically just by pushing this. Light toggle button, you can do that. Power lock button, you can lock your computer. It's got all these little features built into it, and it's just something really cool. It's also compatible with a bunch of stuff in here, and you can go ahead and take a look what it is and what it isn't. But definitely for your MacBook, it's a really good deal there. So anyways, I'll have a link to it if you want to check that out, but I think it's a pretty unique product, and I like it. Okay, let's keep moving. Let's try to pick up the pace here. The next product is basically in any Apple store you go into, they use a cleaning product to make their Macs look so good. And I believe this is what it is. And this is the best cleaning product for not only your screen, but for the outside of the Macs too, for all the fingerprints. Here we go. I've talked about this before. This one's not even on sale, but I just wanted to give a shout out. It's called Whoosh Screen Shine Go XL. There's a whole bunch of different sizes. I mean, that's why the cost difference. But they give you the microcloth in here and also the substance to actually clean up the MacBooks. And it's perfect for the screens and also perfect for the keys and everything. So this is what they use in the store, I believe. This is what everyone's told me on all the forums. You can see 4.6 out of 5 here. So if you want to clean your MacBook, even your iPad or even your phone and stuff like that, this is a good deal here at $14. I highly recommend it. Okay, let's move back to if you're cheap. Now, there's a ton of cheap bands out there, and this is a company that sent me a band, and I just wanted to give them a shout out because, like I said, for the cost here, this is pretty good. It's going to seem kind of crazy. If you have just an Apple Watch and you want a cheap band, maybe you go to the health club, you're sweating it all the time, you want to take it off and use that as kind of a secondary one. For the money, this is actually a pretty good deal. They're 30% off right now. It's only $5.63. It's a nylon stretchy solo loop band, and it's so cheap, right? You can see it fits the Apple Watch Series 11 through the 1, the SE, the Ultra, basically all of them here. And they come in a whole bunch of different colors in here, you can see in here. But basically, it's a very secure for what it is band. If you want a really inexpensive Apple Watch band, I highly recommend that one just from the experience. Now, I can't do videos, obviously, in these little products. That's why I'm kind of introducing them to you. This next one, I smelled the thing, and it seems like it's real leather. I don't know how they do it for this cost, but maybe you want a leather band for your Apple Watch. Here's another one I can recommend. I didn't do a video on it, but I have seen it in person. It's pretty high quality right over here. This is and I can't pronounce this, the Sun FWR. I don't know how you would say that in English, but leather bands compatible with Apple Watch Band 42mm series. There's a whole bunch of different ones in here, so it's not just this one, but this is the one on sale. You can see down in here there's a whole bunch of different sizes and stuff, so check out your Apple Watch. But $8.51, usually like $13. And, if you kind of go in here, we're going to go all the way down here. It says genuine leather Apple Watch band. From what I can tell and smell and everything like that, it is genuine leather. They're saying cowhide leather right there again. And you can see the picture of it, but look at the quality of this thing. It looks really well. And the buckles and everything work really well. And, you have to choose the right size and all that stuff. So you can go in here and fool around with it. They got different colors, but it's really elegant for what it is. I mean, you can't go wrong for $8.51 for a leather band. Are you kidding me? You got to pick it up. Okay, so I get asked a lot of questions in my feeds and stuff, and people always ask me, like, what's a charger you would buy if you weren't going to buy the Apple charger for your MacBook, your phone, and stuff? This one's actually for the cost. Again, if you're cheap, if you don't want to spend a lot of money, I think this is one of the better ones right here. This is the Anker USB-C charger, Nano 2, 65 watts, all right? So it's going to do your MacBook Airs, your phones, all this kind of stuff, iPads. And the reason I like this is because of the cost, $25.99, 35% off right now, usually $40. So for that cost, I mean, if you go in here, obviously, it's very simple, but 2 USB-Cs, 1 USB-A. See that? So you get, a good range of stuff in case you need USB-A when you're traveling and stuff like that, up to 65 watts. It's going to obviously split that power, but you can do multiple things at once like this. He's got his AirPods, his phone, his, MacBook over here or whatever this is. So you get the idea. I can do all of it, albeit a little bit slower at 65 watts. But for $25, that's one I'd recommend over probably the Apple charger if it's only going to have one port. I think that's a good deal. Okay. So maybe you have an Apple phone, all right? And this is going to work not only with this iPhone 16, but the iPhone 17 because it's USB-C. They just haven't listed it here. But you want some extra battery. This is the one I recommend over here. Now, granted, you don't have to get this crazy pink color. It comes in a whole bunch of colors like white and stuff. But anyways, it's $19.19, 36% off, usually $30. And it's made by Anker. So it's this iPhone 16 portable charger. But again, you can make this the 17, the Nano Power Bank. So it basically plugs onto the bottom of your phone here. This thing flips so you can actually take it around with you. It doesn't stick this thing up all the time. It's got a pass through here for power. It's input output as well, so you can charge it up. This device here, this is a battery basically. So you can charge the battery here, but you can also use it for other devices because this is in and out. So if you put a cable here, you could actually charge up like an iPad or whatever you want to do, or another device. But you plug it into the bottom of your phone. That's really what it's for here, just like this. Let me see if I can get a better picture, but it does fold up. You can see how there's no thing there. And then you basically have it like this. So when you're walking around, it's, 5,000 milliamp battery here. And it's going to be able to charge your phone like an iPhone 15, 79% charge, iPhone 15 Pro Max, 56%. So let's say you get 10 hours or whatever, you're going to get an extra 5 hours. So it's perfect for it's so small, you put it in your bag, you're traveling, all of a sudden you're getting really low. It's going to give you another almost 60% battery, even on the Max there. So really good device there for $19.19. I mean, come on, you can't go wrong. Pretty good. Okay, this next product is really cool. I'm going to tell you why. I actually was looking for it. I get so many products shipped to me. I couldn't find these. I wanted to show you guys these things. But long story short, if you have AirPods, and again, you have to search for your model here. There's a whole bunch of different models. But let's say you have them, and a lot of times you're worried they're going to fall down. Let's say you're doing something very active, or you don't want them to come out of your ears and lose one. You can actually make them into more of a wired type system, just so you actually have them so they can't fall off of you. Let me explain. Over here, $9.98, 10% off right now. Ultra strong magnetic AirPod Pro anti-loss cords, all right? So you can choose any of the things down here. There's all different sizes. But in reality, what this does is they magnetically attach here with the cable, so you can put them around your neck like this. And then obviously these are wireless and you don't need a cable, and they're not connecting the cable into your headphones here, but it's really just making sure that they stay around your neck. So if you're doing something very active and all of a sudden one popped out, maybe you're biking or something and you're going 40 miles an hour, this thing would actually stay on your neck, all right? And they wouldn't actually come all the way out. So I've used these a lot of times, and they're actually really high quality magnetic. They actually magnetically attach this way as well, so that you can store them really easily. And it's just a cool product for $10, right? You get different colors in here. So I highly recommend those. A lot of people don't know they even exist. I wanted to show you. Okay, and another teeny little gadget that I like. So you have an iPhone, maybe USB-C, and you hate to use wireless all the time. Maybe you have an old, Apple headphones or something, or you have maybe Sony, but it's actually a wired connection. You don't have wireless for it, or you don't always want to use wireless because it's a pain, to pair them and stuff. You just want to connect it sometimes. Right over here, this is just a device that, again, people don't know they can buy. Ugreen USB-C 3.5 millimeter audio adapter right here. It's $7.99, usually $9.99, 20% off. It's very simple. Let me actually click on this. You plug this into your iPhone, and then this little device here, you plug all your headphones right into here. It's going to make it so that you actually have a headphone jack on your iPhone, and it just adds a little bit to the cable, so no big deal. I use it on my Google phone. I use it on all my other devices as well. You can do it for your, even for your iPad. Let's say you want to listen to something with headphones. So anytime you have wired headphones, this is perfect for it. And $7-8, you always want to have one of these things just ready to go. Okay, this next product, we talk a lot about the Mac Mini, especially the M4 Mac Mini on my channel. And this is a cool device here. I think I'm going to get one in here to actually test it, but I love the ports on this one, and it's a good price. Right over here, Ugreen dock and stand for Mac Mini, either the M4 or the M4 Pro Mac Mini here. And it's only 10 gigabit per second, but it does include an NVMe SSD in here, so an M.2 drive can go in here. So if you look at this, the reason I like this is, we'll get into it, but a lot of these things are missing ports. This one's not. First of all, it's got a cutout for the button. You can see right here, you can get to the button on the Mac Mini. It's got 3 USB, what is this? These are 5 gigabit per second USB A's. Then we got one 10 gigabit per second USB A, 2 more 10 gigabit per second USB C's. We got a power in case you need to add additional power. On the front of it over here, we actually have 2 USB A's. We got 2 micro SSD or TF card reader, I'm sorry, and then the SD card reader right there. So, and then obviously your Mac Mini sits on top of it, and then here's how you connect into it right over here. So really cool. And on the bottom of it, obviously you can put up to an 8 terabyte SSD inside of this thing. Right over here. So on the bottom of it has this little slot, and it's only going to be 10 gigabits per second, so you're going to get around 900 megabytes per second there. But still, all those ports, all that stuff, and additional storage for $69.99, usually $90. It's 28% off right now from Ugreen, which is usually a pretty solid name. That's one I want to definitely check out, and you can see the reviews pretty good, 4.4 to 5, 681 reviews. So I would recommend checking that one out, and for the cost, again, you can't go wrong. Okay, we got a couple other little devices here that will charge all your devices. This one I like just because of the cost, and it's got one added feature. So we take a look over here. This is the Lamicall 4-in-1 QI2 certified wireless charging station. Just like the other charging station I showed you, but this one's 47% off. It's 36 bucks only, usually $70. So if you click in here, let's actually go in here to the very beginning. You can see I like it because it's got this little like light. So let's say you have this near your desk. You can charge your AirPods, your watch, your phone here, and but it has a light, like a little light in here. It's also got the power adapter and things like that. You can also turn it this way horizontal if you want to look at the time and stuff. And very good. But the light here is the key. So let's say you want a night light next to your bed, or let's say you want it to be on very dim so that when you look over to your devices, you can actually see what one to pick up in the night and stuff like that. It adds that little night light like that, and I think that's just something that a lot of these don't have. So I thought it was a cool device there. And for the money, again, 36 bucks, it just adds that little extra feature. 4.4 to 5.2, 75 reviews. And Lamicall, I think they've had some pretty solid devices. I've done a couple of them in the past. So definitely, for 36 bucks, you should give it a try. Okay, this next one's one more of these devices. I promise you this will be the last one like this, but this is one from that company I said does really quality stuff, and it's right over here. This is the Tobin 1 6-in-1 alarm clock wireless charging station. Again, 69 bucks, usually 90 bucks, and I can attest to that. 5.0. So if we click on this, let's just click on it. I keep clicking the wrong thing, but you can see here. So it does all the same things here. It's got the place for your phone here. It's got the place, obviously, for your AirPods, for your watch back here. But it's got an alarm clock built into it, which is really a cool feature again. So instead of having an alarm clock plus all your stuff there, you got this alarm clock, you got the snooze button over here. You can set the alarm on here. You got the time, the date, the day, all that stuff built into it. Snooze for 5 minutes up to 3 times. So you get the idea. It's just a good gift for somebody that likes Apple, really. I mean, you can charge all your devices, phones up to 15 watts, these up to 5, the watch up to 2.5. 70% obviously angle on this. You can pick it up and you can kind of change it vertically or horizontally depending on how you want it. So you can play your music on here, have the time down here, you name it. It's a little bit more expensive, like I said, from this company, this stuff, but this stuff is usually really good quality from Tobin ones, so you can't go wrong there. And again, if you're one of those people that like some of the best stuff, that's one of them. Okay, we got to throw one Mac in here. I keep talking about this kind of smaller stuff and everything. But this Mac, again, is if you want to spend the least amount of money, but maybe you want a Mac Studio, right? They have one refurbished that's actually perfect condition right here on Amazon right now. This is the 2023, so only not that old. It's the M2 Max right now, 12-core, 30-core GPU. 32 gigs of RAM, 512 gigabyte SSD. That's down to $12.89 right now. So 4.9 out of 5. I looked at it. Everyone was saying that it's basically brand new in the reviews and stuff like that. It looks brand new. So it's obviously refurbished, but it's a metal box and they can't do too much with it. So anyways, I thought that was a pretty good price. Obviously the new ones you can get for about 1,800 bucks with the M4, but if you want to save 600 or 700 bucks, the M2 Max with the multi-core is just blazingly fast. I think it beats the M5 as far as multi-core right now. So I mean, it's definitely a possibility at $12.89. I mean, if you have the monitor and stuff already, I would definitely consider that. It's a good deal. Okay, this next product. How is it going to be Apple? Well, this is perfect because I use this all the time when I'm actually, it depends where you are, right? So when I'm traveling or if I'm somewhere in my house where I don't have a plug easily accessible, I just bring this with me. Here's Jackery Portable's Power Station, the Explorer 300. One of the best names here, 293 watt hours. And it's basically down 35%, usually 259, 169. So we talk about these all the time. Again, the reason I like this for 169 is it's got the power here. You can plug in lights. You can plug in your Mac Mini in here if you want to during a power outage. You can plug it in here. It's got enough wattage to last maybe 5-6 hours on it, 7 hours. At 256 watts, they don't draw that much, maybe 10 hours. You also got USB-A and USB-C to plug into. You got the lighter over here for your car lighter. You also got the input here for solar, and you got the little gauge here, all for 169 bucks. So I would just say definitely get this. I mean, it's something that you can try if you don't want to get the big one yet. They're phenomenal for everything you think you may not need. You could use this. If you're in the backyard, you want to listen to something, bring this with you. You can plug in all your devices. So it's got those plugs for that cost, and that's the key. All right, this next product is going to be, let's say you have an M1, M2, MacBook Air or something like that, and you want to connect multiple screens. Maybe you want to, maybe in an M3 you want more screens and stuff like that, all right? This one's a good device for it. It's right over here. The Mini Subaru, and I've done a whole bunch of stuff from them. DisplayLink triple display docking station. Now this is for the MacBook M1, M2, M3, M4. It's also for Windows. And let's just get into what it does. So the beauty of this thing is it's got all these different ports on it. It's got Ethernet, it's got USB-A, USB-C. So you can get into what that is, but that's not the reason you'd probably buy this one. I mean, here's all the different things. If you want to pause it, go ahead and pause it. You can see what's on that. I'm not going to go through them all. I mean, the main thing though is you can get up to 3 different screens here, and it says, MacBooks users are no longer limited by the M1, M2, M3 chips. You can easily achieve 3 screen displays with this hub here using display links. So I did a whole video on how to use that display link adapter and all that stuff, but it's down to 115 bucks, usually 150. So if you want multiple screens, definitely check this out. 4.3 out of 5, good review there, and overall it's a pretty solid device. Okay, this next one's another one of these little gadgets that you may never think you need, but maybe you do, right? So maybe you have just like a MacBook Air, or maybe you even have like a Mac Mini sitting over there. But on that Mac Mini, you have 1 gigabit Ethernet right on there, and it's maybe not fast enough for most people. You want a little bit faster speed. Maybe you have a SAN or a NAS connected to it, or you just want to connect into your network faster than 1 gigabit per second on the Ethernet. Right over here, this is going to be a cheap thing that can solve it. Ugreen USB-C to Ethernet adapter. It's going to give you 2.5 gigabit right here. See that? So it's going to be 2.5 times basically faster than what's on those systems. 19 bucks. Plugs right into USB-C here. So you plug this into your computer. This will come out and you can plug in here for faster connections through Ethernet, or if you want to connect, data transfer over to a SAN or something quicker. Really good in the cost. I mean, the cost is $19. So it's 33% off right now from a good name here. Highly trusted, 4.5 out of 5. Tons of people bought this thing. It works great. You can't go wrong. Okay, this next one is just another mainstream product, but I think it's a pretty good sale right here. Crucial X10 4 terabyte portable SSD. It says up to 2100 megabytes per second. It's usually if you have 2x2, which I'm not going to get into. On a Mac, normally this is going to be around 1,000, I would believe, somewhere in that range. Still fast enough for everything. Almost 40% off supposedly. I don't think it's always that much off, but still $239 for 4 terabytes in SSD. That's actually pretty good. Pre-built, solid name, 4.6 out of 5, Amazon choice. So can't go wrong. I think this is a really good choice. And, Crucial, it's called the Micron Crucial, but that's a good price there. It's usually maybe $299. I don't think it's usually $395, but you get the idea. Overall, that's something to take a look at. Okay, maybe you have a car, but you got wired CarPlay on it and you have an Apple phone. Here's one I recommend for this. This one's I've actually tested. It worked pretty good for me. Again, I didn't do a video on it. Right over here. This is the wireless CarPlay adapter for Apple iPhone. It's from a company, I don't know how to say this. It's IJEUF, so you could do whatever you want with that. 34% off right now, so $39.19, usually around 50, 60, 58, 60 bucks there. 4.3 to 5, and so it's really just simple, right? So you basically plug this in, USB-C, into your car, wherever you'd plug it in, right over here or something like that. And it creates basically, wireless for CarPlay. So instead of having to plug in, a wire from your phone into your car, you can, set it up this way. Every time you get into your car, it's going to wirelessly beam that over. Everyone loves this thing. Again, the few people that gave bad reviews seem like they just didn't know what they were doing with it. So it seems like a pretty solid product for under 40 bucks there. And it's 34% off right now, which is really good. All right. We're still talking about these cheap products because I'm cheap, all right? I'm going to be honest. This is going to be a keyboard case for the iPad. Again, the A16, the 11th gen, the 10th gen, 2022 or 2025. And it's only 21 bucks, so it's usually $33.98. Limited time deal, and it's exactly what it says it is. So it's a case and a keyboard. It's got a place for the pen in here if you buy that cheap pen as well. So if you kind of go in here, it's going to tell you what it's for. It's going to be for this design iPad right here, which is the cheaper iPad. But it's a full Bluetooth, fully functioning keyboard right here. And you got to just take a look at it. It's fully magnetic. You can take it off. You can actually place it in front of it if you want for your iPad as well. Where if you just want to have your, you can actually connect it to your iPhone if you wanted to. You can actually really connect it to even a Mac if you needed to. So if you traveled with this and you wanted to, you had like a little Mac Mini, you could theoretically use this. It's not going to be, again, the best keyboard out there, but I think for $21.99, 35% off, it's one that you just want to have maybe in the back of your bag just in case you need it, right? To write a longer email instead of trying to type it on the screen. That's what it's for. It's not for solving, replacing the Apple one out there. That's not what it is. Okay, this next one's a bag that I've actually tested, and I think for the money, it's a really good bag, and that's basically what it is. So let me just show you over here. and again, Mosiso, and I never know how to pronounce this name, but I've seen them a lot and I've dealt with them a lot. It's a laptop shoulder bag, 13.3 inch for a 13 to 14 inch computer. So it's going to be like your 13 inch MacBook Air. Things like that will fit perfectly in here. 35% off right now. It's down usually 23 bucks, but only 14 bucks. All right. So you get the idea. It's made really well, but the reason I like this is it can hold a phone in here. It can hold, a battery in here. You can hold your pencil in here. It can even hold a whole bunch of other stuff, chargers and stuff like that. And it's just, pretty well designed. It actually got a strap that will go onto the suitcase. That's really key there as well. So that's built in, all for 14 bucks. You can't go wrong. Here's kind of the inside. It's got additional pockets in here. And then it's got like a separated case with some foam here for your computer or your iPad or whatever you want to put in there. And it's waterproof on top of all of it. So again, 14 bucks, 35% off. You can't go wrong with that. I mean, come on now. Okay, so everyone keeps buying the iPhone 17, and I heard the Pro model is really popular. Let's say you want an inexpensive case, but you still want it to kind of show the feet. Let's say you bought the orange one, the orange iPhone, and you wanted people to see it. Well, here's a case, again, great reviews, and Apple sells this thing for like 60 bucks, but you can buy this way cheaper right over here. It's the FNT case, all right? Don't know how to say that either. iPhone 17 Pro Max case. There's different sizes. $569, 68% off, usually 18 bucks. 4.7 out of 5. So it's not just me saying it, right? So obviously you can look in here and you're like, well, this thing might be cheap. We don't know how it's going to be. All this kind of stuff. It works with MagSafe, obviously. And, for 4 or 5 bucks, you see a lot of these things. But if we go down to the reviews down here, let me just actually go down to the reviews. I mean, people love the thing. Amazing. Great buy. No issues. Great case for the price. Crystal clear protection. I mean, it's phenomenal. I mean, you can see in here, it makes your phone stand out. You got the little, obviously where you connect everything to it right here, MagSafe. And people love the thing. I mean, it's just phenomenal. It doesn't yellow. So $6. I mean, how can you go wrong for $6 anymore? Again, I'm here to show you some of the cheap stuff you may never heard of before. So stick to the channel, and I'm going to keep going. Okay, so maybe that case wasn't for you, but you want something a little bit higher tier, but not so much as the Apple spending 60 bucks on a case. Here's one I recommend as well. This is 23 bucks. This is the Torres Magnetic Slim Fit for the iPhone 17. And again, they have different iPhones, so just check out the link and you can go find your model. 23 bucks, 21% off right now. And it's just a phenomenal product. So it fits, they have all different colors, including orange and reds and stuff like that. So obviously if you buy the orange iPhone and you want orange on the back, this one's perfect for it, all right? And you can see here it is the phone, here it is with the case on it. So it makes it look like, people still know you have the iPhone. They couldn't put the Apple logo on it, I mean, obviously, but beyond that, it still works with MagSafe. Again, I recommend this because it's a 4.5 out of, 4.5 out of 5. People love this thing. And we're going to go down to the reviews. I mean, the look and feel of it is just phenomenal for what it is. I mean, that's what you have to kind of judge it on, right? So people, when they talk about it, good case, obviously 5 out of 5. But you can see it's super thin. It barely adds any dimensions to the actual iPhone. So when you put this on, it's going to stay about the same size. And it's just really high quality made. I mean, the plastics and everything are made really high. It looks very good. I can't find the red one. There is a red one in here. See if I can find it over here. I think it's over here. Take a look at this. Yeah, here's the red one. So you can put the orange and red. That would look actually really cool. Take a look if you had the orange iPhone. You get the idea. 23 bucks or whatever it comes out to. You can't beat that, right? So just want to give you some options. Okay, we got a cool product here now. If you're a techie, and I used to work in a data center for 27 years, so I get a kick out of this shirt here. I'm going to show you. It's a t-shirt. It's not tech here, but it's a tech t-shirt. Tell me if you don't like this one for people that don't know what's going on in the world over here. So here we go. 16 bucks. I'll have a link to this as well. All different sizes. Tech humor, all right? So what they show here is, let me click on this thing, and I'll show you exactly what this is. Well, it's not loading in for some reason. I don't know why. Anyways, you see it here. So it says, there is no cloud. It's just someone else's computer, all right? And it comes in all these different colors and cool things. So I love that saying because everyone I talk to that doesn't know much about the cloud thinks that there's some magical thing out there. It's just somebody else's computer in another data center. That's all it is, all right? Interconnected. There's other things beyond it, but still. So I like that. I think techs would get that. Kind of a cool, funny t-shirt. And at the end of the day, it makes you laugh. Okay, that's it. 32 products we rifled through. I'm going to try to make this more of a series. I'm going to try to find some rogue products for Apple devices, maybe just tech in general, and some ones that are cheaper than, so you don't have to spend a ton of money. You can try different tech and all that kind of stuff, but still quality, maybe a 4.5 or higher reviews, things I've tested myself. Subscribe to the channel, and I'm going to keep pumping these out every so often, maybe every couple weeks. I do a whole bunch of other stuff. I do tech reviews. I do Apple news on the weekends. Check out my channel. I think 900 videos, believe it or not now. Crazy, right? Anyways, we will talk to you in the next one. Peace.